Namaste! Grand Rising, Big Cat. Welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or massages. Come in! Come on! I've got intel. Recon is afoot. Yes, Big Cat. They, them, and got a reading on you to seek and find your weaknesses. You've become an impregnable cat. Yes, baby, you're Teflon cat, and I'll have nothing else said. No longer pulled about like taffy, no longer getting the short end of the stick or getting it without the Vaseline. You decided to hold on to your 6 G's, darling dears. God, goals, gifts, greatness, growth, and gratitude. Getting readings on you, eh? Looking for weaknesses. Let's see what they found. Let's start with the dice, darling dears. Baby, you've got the what? Snake eyes. Double one, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. This is about some reunion you've had or about to have with someone you haven't seen in years, darling dears. You weren't looking for them. Nobody was checking for them. Boo! Yeah. The energy of a double one, darling dear, is a 2. This speaks about you could be a life path too. You or them. Your birthday could be the 2nd or the 11th or the 20th or the 29th. Your most fortunate numbers over the next 7 days will be the 1, 2, 4, 6, and 8. Why? Because your past efforts, darling dears, has brought you dividends. Big Cat, you're reaping what you sowed. Your luckiest days will be Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. The letters B, K, and T are amongst the what? The rebellers, those that were seeking to find out what your weaknesses are. It could be your first, second, or middle name, or their first, second, or middle name, darling dears. The numbers that I gave out, 2, 11, 20, and 29, could be a door number. It could be a postcode, darling dears. An area code. The energy of the 2 is ruled by the moon, which is Cancer and Pisces energy. Somebody wants to come across as though they're being diplomatic. They want to appear to be the peacemaker, but really they're the power behind the throne. The throne of darkness, darling dears, that was against you. A seat you no longer sit in or around, darling dear. A table where you've got up from. Good golly and gosh. The energy of the 2 on the tarot is the High Priestess. Intuition and discernment. Some secret is about to be revealed, or your intuition guided you to the truth. Roof. Pinkies up. Just saw 333 on the counter. Balance and support is at your side, darling dears. Your front, back, and side. Remember I told you that. The universe wants you to continue to what? Believe. Believe in yourself, bestie. Trust in the universe. Remember I told you that. When people make plans, especially plans of wickedness, God laughs. Why? There's always the back end, as God sits high and looks low. The 2 is the energy of the 11. 11, master number 11, speaks about divine inspiration. Listen to your spiritual intuition, darling dears. You're being guided at this moment in time. Because you've improved yourself, this is why they got the reading. Yes, baby, to see where they could get in, where they could fit in, what they could use against you amongst the what? The dull-eyed simpletons. Someone is trying to what? Snag or ensnare your psychological password. Okay. Or they was. Well, they got the reading. We'll see what the reading told them. But this past energy would like to come back through again, darling dears. They want to test your gangster to see if you are taffy, if you're still being a dummy bat. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a dummy bat. It's when you undummy bat yourself and people still think that you are the same person. Never let anyone find you at the same address. Change is constant. Change is unnecessary, darling. There's an evolution is your go-to move when you went from Gandalf the Grey to Gandalf the White. When you said, bestie, this goes no further. Yeah. All of this and that, darling dears. It's already got fancy. Wasn't expecting that, but we must expect the unexpected from the what? Feeble-minded. Why? Because they was looking for your weaknesses, darling dears, and showed their whole posterior. For a spiritual kick-in. All right. Let's get the runestone around this. Oh, you have two, darling dears. When you cast runestones, you read them from right to left. Masculine energy or someone in their masculine energy. Good golly and gosh. We've got the High Priestess in the reverse. This is somebody who is what? A spellcaster, darling dears. Or it could purport the person that did the reading on you. Or they may have done a reading, darling dear. But the energy around it is what? Chaos magic. Wishing for what? Wickedness. Look, as I said, they was trying to what? Seek and find something that they could use against you. This person is extremely addicted to your energies, darling dears. They're feeling extremely lonely in a situation that they find themselves, but this is a destined position. They was meant to play the position of a pawn. Yeah, why? Because you play chess, not checkers, darling dears, and somebody's got to be the king and queen, and you've decided to earmark yourself for that said role. High Priestess on its face, moon energy, okay? Because when the High Priestess is in reverse, there's some kind of ailment around that area. They've experienced some kind of illness, an ailment around the stomach, the breast, the membrane, the spleen, and the brain, darling dears. The brain is what fodder, darling dears. Mush. Okay. High Priestess energy is represented by the letter P. So the letters P, B, and K. Okay. It's also represented by the number 2 as well as the number 14. So to add to the numbers is the number 2 and the number 14, birthday or date. But the number 2 itself is lucky for you over the next 7 days. All right. But I'm getting the impression that this is feminine energy. Yes, it's the High Priestess, but the overall energy that I'm getting, it's female energy, darling dears. Someone who is in a masculine role, or someone who took abuse or abused a situation or circumstance they're standing in your life, darling dears. It could be an older female. I'm getting the energy of older female. Ingus, represented by the letters NG. So we've got NG, P, B, K, and T. Ingus is represented by the number 4 as well as the number 22. All right. Okay. Someone that took advantage, darling dears. Right next to they're shady, secretive. This is somebody that likes to gossip in private, darling dears. They like to shoot their arrow in private. But you have to remember, they were shooting it amongst the feeble-minded and the simpletons. They did get a reading, darling dear. But in that reading, it didn't go the way they expected. Yeah, they expected to find a weakness. They found that you are an impregnable fortress. Mind, body, and soul. Woo, child, they couldn't have been happy. It must have been like sucking lemons when they heard all of this. They wanted to beat their ears and punch themselves in their eye chakras. Yeah. But this someone is still sending negative energies towards you, darling dears, which is a mistake. You know who you are, darling dears, and the Emperor energy in tarot can also represent God, darling dears. God is shining a light on their nefarious ways, the ministrations that they tried to perpetrate against you when they searched for weakness, darling dears, but they found none. All right. Let's get the Oracle Ancestral message around this. I don't even know which one. They're all going, pick me, pick me. I'm going to go with the life lessons, darling dears. We're going with the life lessons. Something to do with children, darling dear, and a builder. If you have progeny, darling dears, they see that you are creating a stable foundation. Yes, baby. You may even be in the building field, darling dears, but a builder can also be a teacher, somebody that looks at plans, or maybe you planned ahead. Law number 29 of the 48 laws of power. Your innate ability to build and create brings you a deep sense of accomplishment. You've accomplished something, darling dears. Yep. The way he's clutching the hammer, yeah. Maybe you don't see where your efforts are going to take you, darling dears, but you're being spiritually guided and protected. You are on a destined path. This is a sign for you to keep going. Look how virile this angel's body is. Keep going, darling dears. Keep going. You may not see the ending, but darling dear, it's there. It's there. Why? They had to get readings to find where your weakness was. Some of you've built a better body, darling dears. You've been at the gym. Holding that chair pose. Yeah. All of this and that. You've been working on yourself. This is peaceful, darling dears. We've got the what? We've got the communication, the blue, the throat chakra, but it's wrapped around your third eye, darling dears. This tells me that you're allowing your intuition to guide you. You're following something, like I said, that is a destined path. First time I've noticed this in the card. You don't even see them, darling dears. Can you see? First time in all the years I've had this card. There's actually figures there, darling dears. But someone in particular don't wish you well, but they're like a page compared to you, darling dears. You've got standing, you have grace, you've got foresight, you've got the tenacity, you've been motivated, you've been building, darling dears. You haven't been worrying about what's behind you. Why? Lot's wife and all that, Salt Bay. A sense of accomplishment. They'd like to wipe that off you, darling dears. Yeah, something that you wrote down. Maybe you journaled it. Maybe you've written a book, darling dears. Or you wrote down that you would never go back. This also speaks about being guided. Some of you are doing the channeled writing. Intuitive writing, darling dears. In others, they're putting it out there that you are using the works of others. Maybe you've got some kind of a spiritual attachment. This is what they're saying, darling dears. This is what they was hoping for. They didn't. You are guided and protected, darling dears. It also is the signing of a new contract. You heal, you inspire, you teach and entertain with your words. With the words you write, darling dears. You may even be an entertainer, or how you put your work across is extremely entertaining, engaging. You take the time to plan out, plot and strategize, darling dears. But this is focus. This is about you being intentional about whom you communicate with, darling, at this moment in time. Communicate with people on your level, doing the same thing or doing better than you in order to what? Get great. In order to be a great person, be amongst greatness. Remember, law number 5 of the 48 laws of power. Reputation is everything. But I'm hearing a deed, a property deed, a new business, a book. But this is also what studies, higher learning, possibly spiritual studies, darling dears. You've been at it. They see all of this as they try to seek weakness. You're learned, you're a scholar, you're a keyboard gangster, you're spiritually blessed, guided, protected by your ancestral team. Oh my God, they must have been what? A wet rag of snot by the time they finished hearing this. And like I said, they wanted to beat their ear chakras and punch themselves in their eyes. Something about your children. You may have progeny, darling dears. They're trying to bring down your children. Yes, baby, but your progeny are strong. They are following in your footsteps of what? Leadership, dancing to your own beat. Yes, baby, the beat of the universe. You may even be a musician, yeah, or a magician. Or maybe they're saying you're a magician. How they say you created what you've got going on, darling dear. They was looking for something, possibly even dark works. Yeah, chaos magic to say this is what put you in the position that you are right now. They realize that your children adore you, respect you, darling dears, and you are leading by example. They see that you're strong. that you've created some kind of soul tribe around you, darling dears, where there's mutual respect and understanding, where your words are heard. Leo energy, big cat energy, the 5th house, darling dears. It speaks about you being drama free. It also speaks of a risk. It speaks about children and your childlike spirit. You turn some kind of hobby, darling dear. You work and you built it, right? You planned it out, right? You built it from the ground up, and they was looking for a weakness. Maybe they will try to attack you through your children. Protect your progenies, darling dears. Peacock feathers, black obsidian crystal, snowflake crystal, black snowflake, darling dear, and black tourmaline. Yeah, a new beginning. A new beginning for you, darling dear. They don't like it that you're strong. And it also speaks about you enjoying yourself, utilizing your creativity. Maybe you've started a new romance. You've learned to express yourself. The 5th house also covers your what? Your heart, darling dear. You're expressing from your heart, being your true, authentic self. You've tapped into the I will of the Leo energy, darling dears. I will, which left no room for what? Going backwards, darling dears. I will survive. Listen, you got your Gloria Gaynor on. Posh clap. First you was afraid. You was petrified. And then you thought you thunk about what they done did. They, them, and that are getting readings, darling dears, in the secret, trying to ascertain a weakness that they can what? Manipulate. Yeah, because they truly want a reunion with you, darling dears, but it will be on what? A gathering of information. Law number 14, they want to find out what's going on, darling dear, so that they can use it against you. Listen. As we sip our mocha, we're not getting smoke. Do you like the mug? Yes, baby. This is what the blurred lines. They can't see it, darling dear. Base of the deck. They've seen that you've got infinite abundance. As you touch it, it turns to gold. This is again protected, guided, enlightened. They see that you're spiritually enlightened. There's the butterflies to show your transformation. We've got all of this fruit, the fruit of your hard labors, darling dears. You've reaped the benefit of whatever you've been focused on, but it was all on a self-love journey. You are fully supported as you devote yourself to the divine life purpose, darling dears. Noof node style. You are playing chess, not checkers. You've graduated cum laude, darling dears. That's Latin for with honors. So let's get into the reading, because it seemed like whatever they found out, darling dears, they developed what? Atikiphobia. What's that? The fear of not being good enough. They don't need to fear that shiznai. They should know it to their core, to their being. Let's get a deck that I have not used in a while. I'm going to use the witches. Look, return to sender, Ace of Wands. This is spell work, darling dears. But as I said, they got a reading on you. They wanted you to be what? All sorts of hockey sticks of dawn. Oh, this hasn't happened in a while. And even Stevens. First question. I was about to say who? Somebody who's disgruntled, darling. There's someone who's a gambler. Somebody who's having health issues. We've already discussed the areas that this health issue may be touching on. The stomach, the breast, the brain, the spleen, and the membrane, darling. There's moon energy on its face. Like I said, what they try to send towards you, they're looking for weakness in you because they are weak with themselves. They haven't got the health. They haven't got the stability. The coin is looking funny, darling dears. And when the reading told them that you're successful, a new home, car, career, you're traveling. You may have a mobile home, a holiday home. Bitter and twisted, darling dears. This person always looked to see with their faces. They was judging you on past actions, past acts, or the way you used to be. This is someone that you trusted. This is someone that you went to with your personal, intimate details. It could be a husband, a brother, a sister, but As I said, I'm getting feminine energy. Could be a brother and a sister, a Mitch bitch or a bitch Mitch. Whatever your paradigm is, darling dears. They took every one of your words on the road, darling dears. They was quick with it. They're seeing that you're being successful. Feminine energy again. So the cards are telling us it's a female energy, darling dears. Yeah. Could be as many as 3. What else? Yeah. These people expected you to still be vulnerable, spiritually deficit, unprotected, darling dears. They liked it when you didn't stand up for yourself, when you didn't speak your truth. Why didn't you ever speak your truth around them in the past? Base of the deck. You wanted it to be easy and clear. You didn't want the toxicity, you didn't want the arguments, you didn't want the passive aggressive, darling dears. You wanted the situation to continue. Yet, like I said, that was before the undummibatation of it all, darling dears. They are bitter, gossiping, bringing up shiznai from the past, darling dears. Yes, all because you cut them off, darling dear. The reading told them that you're a success. Feet don't fail me now. The reading told them that you was doing a tinky winky with the bag. Yeah, look at this. They wish there was loyalty, and now this person was disloyal. But it was a targeted attack. They knew how to operate with you in the past, darling dears, or operate on you, how to isolate yourself in situations, make it seem like they was the be all and end all. But there was no love. These female energies had no love, none for you, darling dear. Bitch Mitch or Mitch bitch. Foolio. Going through the rinse and repeat of negative cycles, darling dears. Yeah. They was hoping to have some kind of one-upmanship. This is money, darling dears. This is someone that likes status, or they like to appear that everything in their life is smooth. Guess what? If they got progeny, the progeny is on their forehead, right? The progeny is not happy with a situation. If they had a relationship, they was dealing with folio, darling dears. Somebody who was an opportunist. Yup. Somebody who they lost a lot of money, possibly lost a home. This is mental health, darling dears. King of Pentacles also speaks about age. They're up in that age, darling dears, over the age of 35, darling dears. Yes. They've been living amongst Guantanamo Bay, darling dears. Yeah, lots of fighting, physical fighting, gossip, lots of talk, right? Like I said, the progeny is on their forehead. And I'm also seeing in juxtapose here, right? We've got the 5 of Wands plus the 6 of Cups. Their progeny is fighting with them, maybe even physical fights. Yep. Confirmed by the bad news bear, Page of Wands on its face. Disrespectful progenies that tell them anything they want to tell them, darling dears. Ooh, child. Let's talk about your success. What else did they find out in the reading about you? Blessings of fate, destiny, and good luck is on your side. And again, this is the wheel, darling dears. You're spinning the wheel. The iron, darling dears. This is a new car. As I said, it could be a new mobile home. This is long distance travel. They're learning, darling dears, because the Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter, fire, and energy, that you've ended a cycle. Some of them even learned that some of you cats have won the lottery, darling dears. They know that you've got Skrilla.com. They learned that you've evolved, darling dears. They learned that you've grown. They've learned that you've broadened your horizons. Like I said, distant lands, foreign places. But it's about you, They learned that you're highly spiritual. They learned that you was a warrior. Or is a warrior, was, and will forever be. Hey, posh clap. They learned, big cat, that you're a savage. Come through, Megan, the stallion. Posh clap. They learned that you're a savage. Classy, boozy, ratchet. Yeah. What else did they learn? That you're happy. Happiness knows your address. Yes, that you are vibing high. If you've got progeny, your progeny are happy, darling dears. Because as you elevated, your progeny elevated. This is enlightenment. Teaching them a new way of life, darling dears. Sun energy. Sun is what? Big cat Leo energy, the 5th house. This is in the upright, darling dears. The sun energy, body parts is the head, the eyes, the nerves. It's about movement, darling dear, in your senses. But it's also the back. You used to get a lot of back pains around them, darling dears. Why? Or when you was around the hemisphere. Because when you store trauma, it's stored in your sacral chakra. Yes, it is. This is why when you break up from a relationship, especially an intimate relationship, you need a time by yourself to restore the balance of your sacral chakra, to get it to spin in the correct direction. Break the soul tie, darling dears. Some people say in order to get over someone must get underneath someone else. Don't listen to them, lad. Don't listen to that. That's a wicked road and a dark path to walk, where you won't be able to trust your own shadow after dark. I digress, I know. Mocha sipped. They see that you're very happy, darling dears. Your progeny are happy. You've got blessings on your side. 10 of Cups, and it made them very unhappy. It made them realize the situation and circumstances they live in, darling dears. They're gossiping, they're talking, they're conspiring. They wanted you to be vulnerable. They sent spiritual attacks your way. But what God gives you, no man can curse. Some of them just want to talk to you, darling dears, because you come with what? The steady mind of common sense. You can't touch them with anything. You'll be talking to someone who is small and feeble-minded, right? Something about music just came up. Some music. Yeah. You release the burden of them, darling dear. You've released the burden of them. They realized in that reading that there was no way back to you, darling dears. Unhappiness in juxtapose 10-10. It's breakthrough. You let the situation go, realizing that you was the one, right? Sipping on the poison and waiting for them to die. It'll never happen, never happen. You let go. You let go and you let God. What else did I find out in this reading? Apart from your happiness, that you're blessed with fate, destiny, and good luck. The Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy. And Jupiter is what? Jupiter is represented by Thursday. So that is an important day for you, darling dear. Thursday is what? The heart chakra. Something that is going to make your heart swell on a Thursday. Why? Because you've had acceptance and forgiveness, darling dears. The heart chakra is represented by the north. I like to say the north node. Maybe you're living in the north, or you're going to be traveling towards the north. Yeah, they got karma on them, darling dears. Some of them are talking about the ending of a relationship that you've had, maybe a divorce. Pardon me, that was a spiritual belt, because it's the truth roof. Pinkies up, base of the deck. They wanted you to be disappointment, downtrodden, barking at passing cars and dressing like Quasimodo's bestie. Yeah. They're chopping it up about you, darling dears, paying close attention to you. This person is a gossiper and hateful with it. They're so hateful with it. They heard that you're doing all right. You're fabulous. You've released whatever you needed to release. Look, you're living in wish fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, as the universe says to you, bestie. Whatever you like, because you released the burden. They wanted you to be vulnerable. Was looking for a weakness in you, darling dears. Yeah, but nothing was found. No weaknesses. 6 of Swords on its face. What's this? This person is disloyal and it's someone not to be trusted ever. If this was a love partner, a husband, or a wife, darling dear, never to be trusted again. Base of the deck. You gave too much in that situation. King of Cups could also represent someone that had your emotions, darling dears, and manipulated you emotionally. It doesn't have to be a lover, a friend, family member, but we're seeing female energy out here. But like I said, it's a Mitch bitch or a bitch Mitch. Yeah, you gave to that situation willingly. Not anymore, blood. You've given back the wood. They've realized, like I said, that it's over. You are no longer confined, unstuck on them. You've learned to release the other foot and stand up strong. This is a new beginning. seeing a different perspective, planning your path. You didn't even consider them in the plan. Why would you? They're yesterday's newspaper. You put them on pause. They, them, and The reading told them that. They've been put on pause, whether they like it or not. Yeah, but they would love to work on it. But it would be fake tears. Listen, you know that cry they do with no tears? High priestess on its face. Hidden agenda, darling dears. And this is the reading they got on you. This is how they felt afterwards, darling dears. They felt that they was going to go in there and discover all of your secrets, but they came out empty-handed. There's no weakness. There's nothing that they can do to you. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Why? Because you're a big cat and you're Teflon, prototype of your lineage. You're the builder, right? Not only that, you was the cornerstone that they refused and became a seed that grew in silence. Silencio, darling dears. Let's get another deck. What else did this reading tell them? What else did they find out? What's that? Look, are you bossed up on the picture image? You don't move in the same frequency as them, darling dears. Realize yourself and your worth. Right? They also found out that you love your own company, so no one's missing from your hemisphere. Anyone that's gone, good for them. You love your own company because you get the time to think, listen to your own thoughts, get into your creativities, tap in, darling dears. You've been a builder, plan, plotting, and strategizing along the way, and you're not bitter. You, bestie, got bet. Listen, that reading was like a lashing. Ooh, child, you didn't get bitter, you got better. And the hangman in the reverse, you gain that new perspective that you can build without them, and you're gifting them with what Easter Island and Stevie Wonder, the full benefit of what communicative dance of love and light. Two of these and one of those, right? Yeah. Best position to be in, darling dears. What's that? The underestimated position. Booyah. Hey! What's this? Father, God, Mother Isis, who God bless. No man can curse. Love it. All right. So this new perspective that they're gaining, they underestimated you. They was looking for weakness in this reading and found none. They see that you're spiritually protected. They see that you're on a path. They see that if you have progeny, right, or the progeny you will be getting in your future will come with respect, love, because you will be a true what? Guide. Our children are only gifted to us for a period of time, darling dears, to guide, teach integrity, self-love. What you've been through, darling dears, it made you not what? You didn't get bitter, you got better. It was a tongue lashing, darling dears. Game over. Yeah, 100%. Let's get another deck. All right, the boss up. Let's see what the boss up was. What's the main boss up? Heartbreak, darling dear. You had to boss up because of the betrayal, the lies. Right, in the reading, they heard about you bossing up. You bossed up, darling dears. Yeah, because you didn't want to repeat the negative cycle. It was like what Einstein said. To repeat the same thing over and over and expect change is madness. You didn't want madness. You didn't want to repeat the cycle. You had to. This was a no choice. Yeah. You didn't want to be around the gossipers, darling dears. And this is a return to sender of all of the spell work, the negative energies. Some cases you had to boss up, right? Because the partner that you had was disloyal to the core. You had to learn to say no. You had to learn to love you, choose you. That's a lot. You made that decision, darling dears. It was difficult. Yeah, you was in your head about it, but Ten of Swords, you got tired of the betrayal over and over again. What's this? Look. You bust up on these bitches and mitches. You broaden your horizons. You didn't allow confusion. You focused, man, on your higher education, building a business. Maybe cryptocurrency. You might even be a farmer. Whatever you did, darling dears, you bossed up. This is what? 7 and 8, 15 pentacles. The 1 and the 5 goes to a 6, which is what? You bring in the harmony. You cooperated with spirit, darling dears, with the unseen. You had faith in yourself. This is how you bossed up. And they sort of this in the reading. Listen. You like your own, you love your own company. You love it. Because in your own company, you realize that you are the baddest of them all. You've got the badass alchemist ways. This is all what they saw in the reading, darling dears. I can't make this up. They saw that you speak it and it shall appear, darling dears. They see that you're in manifestation mode. They see that you've been traveling, you bought a new car, you've got a new status. Maybe you are in a mystical practice, darling dears. You could be a tarot reader. You could, whatever it is, darling dears, whatever you did. While you was loving your own company, you was not redundant. You worked like a field hand, darling dears. You have the gift of the gab, darling dears, your words. Some of you are public speakers, darling dears, or you have a platform. And all of this you developed on your ones, darling dears, listening to your higher mind, your intuition and your discernment. Now they know what you was doing when they couldn't see you physically or hear anything about you. Yes! They knew that you was working like an elf. The reading also told them that you didn't get bitter. You got better. You let people come and go like the weather. Push, clap. I can't remember who sang that. If you know it, put it in the comments, darling dears. Like, ooh, yeah. You didn't get bitter, you got better. And you are in a better position, darling dears. Ask and it shall be given. You've got Libra energy. Libra is the 7th house of contractual partnerships, open enemies, darling dears. Listen, if they disliked you before, they hate you now because you bossed up. You're in the Skrilla. Your mental health is on the up and up. You understand and understood the assignment. Look. And because you didn't get bitter, you got better. You worked on you. You are attracting like-minded souls. That feels like a gut punch and a roundhouse kick. They teach them to be such spying spires. They underestimated you. They thought that you'd have what? Holes in your story, darling. There's holes in your cranium. Or what? Longing for them. They underestimated you. Best position to be in, darling dears. They underestimated. Love it. I don't hate it. They underestimated you. How could you underestimate the boss of everything, darling? There's Empress energy, knowing your worth, abundant, the embodiation, right? Personified. You may even be a mother with progeny or pregnant at this moment in time, or the pregnancy could be of your infinite possibilities of abundance. The Empress is Venus as well as Earth energy. Venus is about abundance, about beauty, darling dears. The more, the more they hate, the smaller waist you get. Is that what Megan Thee Stallion said? Posh, clap, let them send that hate. They underestimate you. The Empress is not pregnable. They can't penetrate your psyche. They cannot, I repeat, cannot have your psychological password. And they also know that your heart is what shark-infested waters, darling dears, as far as they're concerned. And that's the truth roof. Pinkies up, they underestimate you. They didn't realize that the grass grows greeneth under thee. We had to get all the English on that, darling dears. Breaking generational curses. This is creating stability and security, darling dears, for the long run. They underestimated you. Skrilla. Abundance, opportunities. Your health's on the up and up. This is you attracting like-minded souls. For some, it's a true love's first kiss. Building your own families, darling dears. Family doesn't always come by blood. Family comes through choice, through reciprocated energy, darling dears. Like-minded souls. You found others to boss up. Listen, can you get any more pentacales? Can you stand any more opportunities, darling dears? They underestimated that you would find that you are the baddest of them all. They underestimated the fact that you would seek and find your opportunities in your silencio. Why? Because you love your company. If you're trying to boss up, blood, look, this is a divine partner. A king is fitting of an empress. Somebody who's got their own home car career. Someone who is supportive. Yeah. And the King of Cups, emotionally mature. You're going to have a choice of two partners, darling dears. One could be it could be a business partner. But if this is one energy, the King of the Cups and the King of Pentacles, that is more than fitting for an empress. Yes, darling dears, emotionally mature. Somebody who's acquired their own wealth, whatever it is, darling dears. Somebody who is supportive. Someone who is loving. Someone who will respect the gangster that you've adopted. Lord Jesus, they must really be beating themselves, blood. How could they stay for the rest of the read? They must, oh, listen, by now the cards must have been swept onto the floor, blood. All these opportunities coming your way, helping hands. They even know that there's help on its way for you, darling dears. If you've got a business, you're going to get that loan. Your business, if you've got the business already, this is about your business increasing, darling. There's benefactors, offers. This is sponsorship deals. So many things coming your way because you bossed up on them and they was looking for weakness. Now they've got a new perspective on your blood. Apart from all that abundance, listen, they need to wear shades. They're shady anyway, shady, sneaky, right? And they what? Coming through with the hillbilly investigations, trying to find out a weakness in you. They found none. None in your emotions, none in your pocketbook or handbag, none in your spiritual hemisphere. Somebody's writing something, a message. Yeah. They've got a new perspective that you are what? Bad alone. Many of you are single, darling dears. Come through Shensia. Posh clap. Single, like the boys or girls on the pole, darling dears. Single and happy. Lord Jesus, look, it created all kinds of Guantanamo Bay in their cranium. All of their personalities started to fight. They're just like Sybil. Remember Sybil? With all those multiple they all started to fight, darling dears. Yeah. They also learned that there's no back way to you, darling dears. Nope. Nopey, nope. You ain't the same person. Whatever they did to cut you to the white meat, it was a done dollar for you. Happy days are here again. Jesus, Lord my God, listen. They punched themselves in the eye. They may have gone as far as to punch themselves in the belly. Easter Island and Stevie Wonder, keep it to yourself. No one cares. Why? Because you're sorry, not sorry. Good golly and gosh. Oh my. Imagine how disappointed they were to find that you are impregnable. You ain't folio. You're not easily tricked. You're not passionately attached to them, right? They saw Queen of Wands on his face that you're not using no spell work. You listen to your intuition, darling dears. Learn to love your own company. This is how you was able to tap into your creativities. They learned that you've got better, not bitter. So now that they've learned that you ain't got no weaknesses, right? And no one's checking for them, boo. What are they gonna do? Because they found no weakness. They found only what? Infinite abundance. What are they going to do? Now that they heard all of this fabulousness about you, teach them to be spying spies, darling dears. What are they going to do? Let's get another deck. Oh, it had them on a knife's edge, darling dears, on the eggshells. Yeah, what did I say? They've been getting a what? A whipping in their ear chakra. They're very upset, darling dears. 10 of Swords on its face, darling dears. On its face. This is Gemini as well as the Sun energy. It affected their self-esteem, darling dears. Sun energy is fixed fire sign. Fixed fire sign is Leo energy. And again, we go back to the 5th house. This person took a risk in your life, but you also took a risk, darling dears, and chose you. It's affected them, darling dear, their mental health, their physical health. Imagine that. So all this good news about you, why can't they be happy? They can't. They can't be happy for you, darling dears. They cannot. So what are they going to do? When they found no weakness, darling dears, listen, they went home and they caused arguments with whomsoever's there, right? Oh, I've got to plug in the charger because it's about to cut out. And this is so juicy but goosey. Let's get the charger plugged in. This is proper juicy blood. All this intel. Death card on the face. This person hasn't changed, darling dears. Extremely unhappy. Unhappy that they couldn't find any weakness, darling dears. Nothing to bring you down. Yeah. They're going to stay in their toxic life, darling dears. Look at the bad luck they brought on themselves. Is these cards all upside down? What's going on? No, there's cards that's the right way up. Look, I told you it was an even split. Moon energy. Skullduggerous, darling dears. Somebody's going to try spell work, darling dear, to create drama in your life. They're going to try it. Look, High Priestess in the reverse. They're going to try spell work because they see that there's nothing in your life that they can attack. They're going to try and go on it. Listen. There's going to be consequences and ramifications. Consequences and ramifications. They're going to go as far as spell work, darling dears. They're going to pay Skrilla to try and block this new beginning that you've created for yourself. All out of jealousy, darling dears. Envy and hate. They're going to pay for spell work. They're going to be sorry they spent that money, darling dears. Ace of Wands is going to block all of the opportunities in their life. Good golly and gosh, prepared for the incoming of the what? Was it spiritually attached demons, darling dears? They've left their auric field open for a spiritual attack. They underestimated a child of God. We are all child of God, darling dears. But some people want to be a child of God of the light and others for the dark, darling dears. The darkness. Look at this. Many people want you to go through drama. But the one that specifically got the reading on you, darling dears, they're going to attempt spell work. What's going to happen when they do that? No weapon formed against you shall prosper, darling dears. Nope. What did I say? Boomerang back. They're going to get it back, darling dears. in the form of what? The people around them, snake straight up slithering, darling dears. They need to watch their back. False friends, frenemies, they can't trust nobody around them, darling dears. And it's going to all be in the energy that they're sending towards you. You didn't get bitter, you got better. Split the deck again. Thy rod and thy staff, they protect thee. Remember I told you that, bestie. Pinkies up. No need to take any form of action. Just continue with your usual protection of yourself. Obsidian, black crystal next to a mirror in your boudoir. Or the black tourmaline. One in your chariot of righteousness. Yes, baby. Peacock feathers over the doorway. Your incense is to what? Cleanse the air and the auric field. If you have any property belonging to this person or something that they gifted you with, get rid of it, darling dears. You're an earth angel. You're being spiritually guided to clean up your domicile. They want you to be on a dark, rough path, darling dears, but that is not your portion. You saw the wheel of fortune in the upright. They're already being beaten, darling dears. They was beaten by the reading that they got on you, looking for weakness and found none. The spell work that they're going to pay for, right, with money that they can't afford, is going to boomerang back. This person is disconnected from their intuition. They're using no discernment. They're going to be reckless, and reckless will use what? Google spell. And who put the spells on Google? These things, blood. What did I say? They want you to be in ill health, in the poorhouse, or be a match girl or boy outside the train station selling matchsticks for pennies. The universe is saying no. Right, let's get some final cards, because this is outrageous, blood. It's outrageous. I'm going to use the Egyptian Oracle deck to finish out the read. Wow, that's a lot of cards. What was it to reveal? Just these two, right? Alchemic force, what did I say? And devastation. I can't make it up, big cat. When they go and try and use that spell work to try and take you off your gangster because you didn't get you didn't get bitter, you got better. They underestimated you. They expected you to be sad and looking. No one's checking for them, boo. They're going to bring they've already brought the devastation on themselves, but it'll be never ending. Because they have to what? Repent. They're not going to do that. This is what they're bringing on themselves through the spell work. Devastation. Yeah. Union and power. What's the union and power? Yeah, because you've got a new understanding of everything that's going on, darling dears. You are in union and communion with the Most High. This is where your power comes from. Your power comes from the Lord. Psalms 121, as you raise your eyes to the hillsides, from whence will your help come? Your help coming from the Lord, darling dear. Father God, Mother Isis. You are protected. You are guided. Lordy, somebody should tell them, but it's none of our business. On that note, I drops me mic. Turn over to my Teesprings, my Patreon, or my TikToks, where I also upload videos. If you'd like a personal read, hit me up in the Gmail. All of my intel is in the description box below. And as I always say, don't get smoked. And don't smoke yourself. From the ashes, baby. Namaste. Big cat waves. Until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat. Cat, cat.